Hey, how's it going? Today I decided to make some giant utensils, and you might be wondering why I decided to make giant utensils. So the utensils are going to be forged out of this leaf spring. And you can see they have a bunch of different layers in it. But I think I'm going to use these two sections for the fork and the spoon, since they're going to be mostly the same except for the pokey bit or the scoopy bit. And I'll use this big old section in front for the knife. So I'll get this thing cut up, and I think I'll make the spoon and the fork first, and then I'll make the knife, because I don't know. So I got the pieces cut out, and just to explain it a little bit is to leave about this much for the end. Then the rest of this is going to be the handle. So the plan is, while forging, to start squishing down from both sides to make a little isolation. And then the rest of this will be able to be drawn out into the handle and be nice and skinny and way longer than it is right now. Then I can forge out the point that I need from the tip. So at this point, I just have the handle for the fork drawn out, and now I need to make the handle nice and comfy. So for the fork and the spoon, what I'm going to be doing on the handle is using a ball peen hammer to mushroom out the edges. And it's going to be making kind of an I-beam type of shape, and the handle will be rounded off to make it nice and comfy. And that'll be the handle done. It doesn't need any wood or anything. This design makes the handle fill out the hand really well, and it is surprisingly comfortable for being a completely metal handle. And now that the handle side is finished, we can flip it over and make the business end of these forks. Make the little prongs, the little stabby bits, the little... So a problem that I realized I was going to start having is, one, trying to get it into the forge while the prongs are getting drawn out and long. And also I need to be careful not to draw out any section too thin too quickly, so I wouldn't be able to get the thick section hot enough without overheating and burning the thin section. So I just had to be really careful on which sections I draw out and get thin, and keep in mind that it does have to go in the forge again to get it hot, so I had to bend stuff in weird ways. So after the forging for the fork was done, I did a hot oiled finish, and for that, you want the steel to be hot enough so that the oil smokes when you put it on, but you don't want it to be so hot that it still looks dry after you put the oil on. But that is the fork done, and we can move on to the spoon. So now for the spoon, I did the handle for the spoon the exact same way, nothing changed there. Then for the scoopy bit, after getting the profile of the spoon right and getting it thinned out, I got the concave in the spoon by hollowing out a little piece of wood and then hitting it on top of that. It smokes a lot and catches on fire, but it's the best way to get an even, clean scoop into the spoon. So it's messy, but it works pretty well. So I did a hot oil finish on the spoon as well, and now we can move on to the big boy knife. So you've seen me make a knife once or twice, but this one's a chunky, heavy boy. So I wanted this knife to be as big and chunky as possible, so I forged it very close to its final dimensions, and that went really smoothly. For the handle, I did a very similar thing to the fork and the spoon, hammering it out with a ball peen hammer to get the width in to help fill out your hand. I got a good two-handed handle. It feels really nice. But something that can be a little bit concerning is that since I got this steel from a leaf spring, I don't know exactly what type of steel this is. Leaf springs should be similar to a 5160, which is a very common knife making steel, and there is a ton of information out there on how to get a good heat treat on it. But before quenching the knife, I did want to preheat the oil a little bit, because hot oil will actually cool down a knife faster than cold oil. Ain't that crazy? Then after quenching the knife is very hard, but since it's so hard, it's brittle. So what we need to do is put it in an oven for about 2 hours just to bring down the hardness a little bit and make it very tough and durable while still being hard. Then after tempering, all we have is grinding and sharpening, and this bad boy is done. Okay, that's good.